going on with this undisputed fight. So where are we at with him and Alexander Usyk, Frank?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a big will to make this fight happen between both camps. It's just a matter of where and how much. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're good people to deal with, and hopefully we're all pretty positive about getting along. Although I said that about Joshua a few months ago, I don't want to tempt fate. Till it's signed, as I always say, it don't mean nothing. But at the moment, everybody's looks like they want it to happen, and especially the fighters. And it's a great fight. It's a big fight. Funny, I've been looking at some of the newspapers who they've chosen their best 10 fighters or who's at the top. None of them put Tyson in there.
Really?
Make Usyk the best heavyweight. I mean, I don't know I sort of find that quite strange.
So you telling me we've got a location and date set here?
No, what they'd probably be in March. That's what basically where we're at early March. But no location hasn't been finalised. But let's get the fight. Once we've got the fight's done, then the rest will just fall into place.
So we're still negotiating with sites in the Middle East?
We're still negotiating as the site, but until you got the fight, you got nothing. So let's get the fight done, and then we can get the then get to where it's going to take place. Never know. It might be at Wembley. Who knows?
Okay, so the UK still a possibility. How confident are you that we get this wrapped up early New Year, Frank, and get an announcement?
I'm confident in as much that the people we're dealing with, with Alex and with Aegis and Bob Arum, that we're all of the same mind and the same opinion in getting this on. So I'm quite confident, as I say, that we can get it on. But you know what? It's got to be signed, and we are moving in the right direction. At least we've got a contract being issued.
Those are the words of Frank Warren as he states that we have a contract being issued. Okay. And shout out to IFL TV for getting this interview. And, Umar, IFL, Umar. Right? And I listen to words very carefully, right? And, I was doing a live, shout out to St. Don. He said, well, yeah, he told me about this interview, so that's why I'm checking it out. And he says, we have a contract being issued. Okay, well, obviously, whatever Team Usyk had signed doesn't have anything to do with this, because as of December 29th, which was 4 days ago, right? Or 3 days ago, we haven't seen him or anybody else have a contract to be signed. This contract is being issued. That means it's not been sent yet. That means they still are working on that particular contract. See, the devil is in the details of the wording. The wording looks as though the contract reading, we have a contract being issued. That means we haven't sent it yet. If it is complete, it's not sent. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. And he's saying, well, everything else will fall into place and, oh, it looks good, it looks positive. But then I'm glad that he did mention Frank Warren. We said the same shit about Anthony Joshua and that fight with Tyson Fury. It was all positive. It was all, going smoothly. We're working and you know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, all right, what the fuck is the holdup? These contracts of boxing, you have to look at it like this. It would be best if people would all sit down like a business merger to get these fights done. The way they've done these fights have been piss to poor, and you don't have a lot of transparency between anybody. And all it really takes is someone on either side to say, you know what, fuck it. And then what'll happen, they won't say that to the other party. They'll just make that decision either on one end or the other end. And then it's up to the other end to decide, you know what, this person's not interested. It's almost to me like dating. Like you're trying to meet up with somebody and then they're giving you this And then when you read it and you didn't read it when they sent it, then when you read it, then you send it back maybe, right? And then it goes back and then they don't read it when they supposed to read it. And then when they read it, they may send something back, they may not. And at that point, when the first person that it just stops completely communicating back over on the other end, that's what we have. You know, that's how I see these contracts being held, because you got these guys, hey, we're working, we're doing this, we're doing that. What are we doing? Like, that's the update. When these guys were telling the world, was telling the media, like, hey, we're working as hard as we can getting this, that, and the other done. It's like we don't have enough hands-on, time-sensitive, in live time description of what's happening at that time. Like, hey, what's going on right now? What are they doing right now? Are they at home? Or are they in this office actually trying to get it done? Let's go in. Let's see what they're really doing at that point of time. Hey, yeah, they're drafting up the contracts. As you can see, our guys, and they pan over and they show all this. Now, you may not ever see that. But then I think it's better for everyone to know that's involved. Like, hey, this is what's going on. And then boxing channels like ours, like mine and others, can really say what's really being said. All we are getting is interviews and articles from interviews. That's all we're getting. And those interviews or articles from interviews could either be something that happened last week or something that happened 2 or 3 days ago. Nothing right there at that moment. See, even when we have something that comes out breaking, that breaking was broke how long ago? We don't know. You know what I mean? We just know when they decided to tell us what went on. Hey, this fight's not happening. By the time we find out that fight's not happening, they probably knew that 2 or 3 days ago when they stopped communicating. So for Frank to say we have a contract being issued, that means he either doesn't know that it's been sent, or he doesn't know if it's complete to be sent, or that's what he's heard the last time he was in there. Because as we heard, I was listening to this interview, his son is doing most of that. You know, George Warren is doing most of the negotiations because he's been out, with a back surgery, which I hope he gets better, because my father had a back surgery last February and it sucked. Okay. So I hope he's doing better. I hope he gets well and recovers 100%, so he can get back to doing what he loves that he hates so much. Right. But seriously, they haven't decided on venues, but then yet he is basically defending the idea of going to the Middle East or the best place to make the money. So he's basically, hey, we're going to go where the money is, which is understandable. So I'm glad that, to say the least, that Frank's trying to go out for Tyson. Now, as far as Tyson being under Usyk, well, the reason that happened, I just explained to you when Dan Rafael went off on the Ring magazine, is because Tyson Fury gave up the Ring magazine. So if you give up the Ring magazine, saying that you're tired, informing them that you're retired, this is what you will get. You're not going to get anywhere on that. You're not going to be that guy, because you're not that guy with the belt. Alexander Usyk beat Anthony Joshua in their rematch for that belt. Okay, so again, to counterpunch Frank Warren, to inform him, this is how it goes. That's what it is, cut and dry. You guys tell me what you think of Frank Warren and his latest news on the contract issues or status of Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.